complete and utter heartbreak painted all over the faces of these Atletico Ottawa supporters as their supporters try to lift them up in this moment. And you see Forge run to their supporter section and celebrate. This is familiar territory, Jimmy. Again, 3 in 4 years.
It's a remarkable job. I mean, we discussed this. Congratulations to Forge, to Bobby, the club, the supporters. It's well deserved. And at times throughout the season, when people thought they started counting them out, thinking, oh, I don't think they're going to make it, and they won't get to the final, they knew exactly where they were going. They had one thing on their mind, is to get to another final and win a championship. They were disappointed last year, not winning it. And it wasn't going to happen again this year. They were up for that challenge tonight. They won their individual battles all over the park. And it was a true team performance.
Well, on a lighter note, that is a record, I think. Watching Jonathan Grant, Sebastian Costello, Emery Welshman, and Chris Nanko get their jersey from the suite just a couple doors down from you and I and get there to that section to support. We see Drew Becky, always the classiest player on the pitch, goes over to congratulate Bobby Smirniotis. Drew, he did not get the Becky double after Janine Becky and her Portland Thorns got their NWSL championship last night. On the topic of champions, sincere congratulations to her, Sinclair, Brienne Wilkinson, and everyone associated with the Portland Thorns for a great season. But this night, Jimmy, it is about Forge. Let's talk about Ajab Rapport. The goal he scores against Forge last year late, snatched it away. He broke this run. He goes over in orange is what he wears now, and he scores another incredible goal. But he was also exceptional on all areas. I thought he could have had a nomination for man of the match.
No, I completely agree with you. I thought he was covered a lot of ground tonight. He was fantastic in possession, out of possession as well. He had a great game, and obviously the finish. What a finish that was. You can't take anything away from the service from Borges. And that powerful header, which Nate Ingham had zero chance.
Well, these pictures tell the story. There will be more to come. So close for Atletico Ottawa. A remarkable season ends with a titch of heartbreak as Forge will be celebrating in the capital. Before we throw it back to our panel, getting ready, I see the lights turned on. I want to thank my partners all season long, Jimmy Brennan, Terry Dunfield, everyone else here as well, Ian Hume, and the entire fantastic Media Pro crew. A tip of the cap to you, including our director tonight, Kyle Hall, producer Lucas Sheffield, and everyone. You have been sensational. This league would not be here without you. This league has seen a lot of orange. The sky will be filled with orange again as Forge win their 3rd North Star Shield, and they do it against Atletico Ottawa.
Make it 3 for Forge. The hammer hits again. Forge FC 2, Atletico Ottawa 0. Forge are your North Star Shield winners here in 2022. Welcome to our post-match coverage right here inside TD Place. Gareth Wheeler, Jordan Wilson, Oliver Platt with you. Our very own Christian Jack is pitch side. He will be bringing you reaction as it happens from on the field as Hamilton gets to celebrate yet another championship title. It was thorough, it was dominant, it was well-deserved. There's no question, Oliver Platt, that Forge were the superior side tonight.
No question at all. I thought it was a clinic from Forge, to be honest with you. This is a team that just knows how to play in finals, right? They build all year as the team that has the most possession in the CPL. They like to have the ball. They like to play in a way that at times is difficult and risky. But at this time of year, they know to dial that back a little bit, to be a little bit more risk averse, not take any unnecessary chances. But because they are so comfortable in possession, when the opportunity comes to take the game, to make that difference, to make a play that you need to make to win a final, they've got players all over the park who can do it. I thought they were tremendous tonight and once again proved that, they're the hurdle that anyone in this league has to overcome if you're going to win a North Star Shield.
That's the standard, Ollie. Wheels, that's the standard, right? The team to beat, a well-oiled machine. Watching this game, looking at their faces, these boys were comfortable. Yeah, they said, we don't care that we're away. We're the best team in the league, and they showed it. for me, just class. That's the standard right now.
So many heroes on this side. From Hamilton, our very own Christian Jack is standing by with one of them now in Alexander Ashinodi-Janssen.
I'm with Alex Ashinodi-Janssen, seconds after the final whistle. I appreciate you coming over. I know your teammates are still celebrating. 4 finals in 4 years. You've won again. How does this feel?
It's amazing. It's amazing what we've been able to do as a team. And we went into this game with a lot of experience, and I think it showed today. Felt like we had control of the game. It's just an amazing team.
I wanted to leave you there. You just had a moment to yourself on the field as you just crouched down. Tell me what you were thinking.
Well, kind of what I just said. It's been a long year, and what we've accomplished with the ups and downs. It's been so much hard work, and this is a culmination of it, and it's what we do it all for, right? And it's trying to take in the moment, you know. Third time, it doesn't matter. It feels unreal every time.
It should feel unreal, and it should not be taken for granted. No, this is a pretty special moment in sports when you continue to win these things. They don't come easy.
Oh, definitely. I think a lot of the guys in our team have been spoiled with not that long careers. I played 5 years before I came over here. I played one cup final when I was 18, and then I just played qualification game for going down, never up. So it's special for sure, and you gotta take in every moment of it. And that's kind of what we've been talking about before the games, with having the experience. Just take it in, just play as we always do. We know we're good players, and we'll see what happens when we play as we do.
Congratulations, you're immense again tonight. You're another champion, Alex.
Thank you, appreciate that.
Championship pedigree right there. A championship performance by Alex and the rest of the group. You need to be willing to sacrifice. You have to be willing to maybe do things that are out of your comfort zone. That player is a central midfielder by trade who was converted to a center back based upon need, injury, and other this season, and became the top defender in the Canadian Premier League. Now a 3-time champion, Ollie.
He's just an outstanding footballer, and I think that's what you can say about this Forge team all over the park, and that's why they're so versatile and able to make changes like that, is they've just got good footballers in every position. And so, yeah, they might have a preferred position. I know Alex still wants to play in midfield. He still calls himself
yes.
a midfielder. But when they need to go somewhere else for the team, they have the quality, the intelligence, the basic footballing skill set to be able to do it. And what I'll add to that as well is that they've played Janssen at the back. They lost Cisse in the off-season. He was a massive player for them in midfield. And they've not had Becker tonight, who's suspended for the final. That was the CPL's best midfield, right, a year ago. Look at who comes in. Report, outstanding all season long, brilliant again tonight, arguably the man of the match for me. Sissoko right there with him. I thought he was excellent and has been all year long. And then Noah Jensen comes in and doesn't look phased at all in a massive moment for him. They just seem to have players, you know, that come from everywhere that just step up in the moment and are always ready. Which
team in the league could not have their captain, best player, and really not miss him in a final? It's something to be said. Noah Jensen, Report, Sissoko's driving forward.
Brilliant.
The midfield three was dangerous. They brought so much life. 80 minutes in, I'm like, no one missed Becker. no shade to him, great player. But how do you come into a final not having your captain, not having a player that's played over 250 professional games? Just a well-oiled machine. I'm actually I'm clapping right now, and hats off to Bobby for what he's instilled in these guys and the players that he continues to bring in.
It wasn't just that they won tonight. It was how they won. You mentioned another one of those names, it's Sissoko and KJ catching up with the Forge midfielder pitch side.
I'm joined by Abu Sissoko. What a special moment this is for you. You're in the 2020 final. You got released by Forge earlier than that. You're back, and now you're forever a champion. How does this feel?
Yeah, honestly, I'm very happy, and I'm thankful from my teammates because they helped me this year. When I came here, the coach put me as a right back at the first, and they gave me some advice to improve myself. And honestly, it's because of all the coaching staff, all the players. We did it together. I'm happy.
You just used the word together. You were together as a team. You were immense tonight. But how did it feel celebrating with the fans in the corner with these teammates?
Of course. We're happy because they did the long travel to come here to support us. So we have to give them a good performance. So we did it today, and then I'm thankful for them because they showed up, and then this is for them. Huh?
Forever a champion. That feels good, no?
Yes. We're gonna enjoy it, and then let's back to work for next year.
Appreciate this. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, hopefully they take some time off, because if we skip it back to the way that last season played out, an extended season coming out of COVID, they played the final on December 5th. They were back in January preparing to play in the Scotiabank CONCACAF Champions League when they're playing sides like Cruz Azul. It has been a difficult go. And admittedly, Forge said during the season where they had that little bit of a dip in performance, all of their performance metrics were below standard. They just kind of hit a wall, but they know how to ramp it up at the right time. And tonight, they strangled the life out of Atletico Ottawa, and the crowd too. Like, the crowd was incredible here tonight, 14,992. They were waiting for that moment to explode, get into the game. That opportunity didn't ever come about in this one.
Forge never allowed them to. Again, we keep saying the word comfortable, but that's how they look. When you play a brand of football, when you play a style every single week, week in and week out, you have staple players that have been there and know the system. It's easy to perform. You see them tonight, comfortable in their skin, comfortable in the way they play football, and you know that they're going to go forward and they're going to break you down eventually.
Forge are always ready for this time of year, right? It doesn't matter what happens in the regular season. Maybe there's some adversity there. There's some, runs of games that don't go very well. They always know, and they always stick to the idea that we've just got to get ourselves ready for October, November, whenever it is. We got to get ourselves above that line, obviously, to be in the playoffs. But then as long as we're there, we'll make sure we're ready come the end of the season. So you're right, like, they did have some adversity this season. They did have some times where they didn't look like the Forge of years past, but they just keep building and building and building, and they know they're going to round into form at the right time.
Dare I say it, everyone talks about Forge and their arrogance, but they have a reason to be.
Yes.
Yeah.
As a player who plays in this league, yeah, it annoys me deep down, but they have a reason to be. You come into a finals, you come away as well, maybe not having the best form, and you boss it. Boss it. Boss Atletico Ottawa all around the park on our away pitch. They deserve all the credit.
Although the game was one-sided, really the result was in doubt until the 78th minute, and that's when our Volkswagen changemaker moment of the match took place. And who else? Mr. Big Game, David Chouanier, taking center stage.
Yeah, how many times has this guy come up big in a massive match, whether it's been CPL playoffs or CONCACAF League? He's been extraordinary in these moments. He's not necessarily a player who puts up massive numbers in the regular season. He scores a few goals and gets a few assists, don't get me wrong, but he's not like a double-digit goal scorer. But it always seems like in these big games, he's always there. It's remarkable how consistent he's been in these moments. And that was a brilliant goal, brilliant step inside. What a run from Metusela as well, by the way.
No
the
kidding.
centre back coming into midfield and showing he's got some feet.
That's the one thing I want to mention as well. Metusela is coming on the pitch. I'm saying, okay, where is he playing? Pops in the middle, starts driving forward. Bobby looks like a genius. Some of the stuff he's doing, you're putting a center back who strictly plays center back, popping him in the middle, and he's driving forward like Yaya Toure. There's something to be said.
That sidestep, I mean, he put the defender on toast. In Camus, a very good defender, by the way, for Atletico Ottawa in the finish by Chouanier. I remember calling his match winner that sealed the 2019 championship in the 90th minute +5, and scores another one big here tonight. The way he plays, it's gorgeous. He is Tristan Borges, and he is with our very own Christian Jack.
Come on in, I'm with Tristan Borges. I have to say, you were absolutely brilliant tonight, but let's get to your team. How does this feel?
I don't even know what to say. I can't speak highly enough about this group, honestly. Just the amount of ups and downs that we went through, and I say it a lot, but just for us to always have that expectation of winning, and it's when times are not looking too good. There's a lot of people that don't really believe in us, but man, what a special group. You can even just see that, just us playing for Bex, not having them in the finals. I'm at loss for words. I really am, but I can't say enough about this group. I'm so proud. I love all of them. It's just memories for life, and I don't know what to say. MVP Borges!
MVP Borges indeed. As I said, you had a terrific game. How much did you feel like you were up for this one?
I was ready. Personally, I still think I could have done a little bit better, but for me, it's always about winning. Whatever I can do to help the team win, and at the end of the day, we had our goal in the beginning of the year, and we accomplished it. Another trophy.
Last one for you. You don't take these moments for granted, no?
Never. You never can. There's a lot of worse scenarios a lot of people could be in, and you always have to be grateful for everything that you have. And I'm for sure someone that is very grateful to have the group of people that we have, the support that I have, and let's go Forge FC, baby. Let's go.
Champion again. Congratulations.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you.
Champion again is right. The most valuable player in the Canadian Premier League in 2019, the inaugural season. A champion yet again for Tristan Borges. And it was his service on the set pieces. You know, usually it's him splitting one with Kyle Becker. We thought that set pieces would play a role here tonight. And that's how the first goal was scored, courtesy of the service of Tristan Borges, Ollie.
Yeah, I think we thought that, you know, set pieces could be an issue for Atletico Ottawa, where Jordan highlighted it pre-game. They do struggle at times defending crosses, and I think those situations are problematic for them as well. And it was just the delivery. We've seen it all the time from Forge, right? When they think there's a bit of a lack of confidence in those situations from the opposition, they just put a ball right on top of the 6-yard box, right, and make you deal with it. And Ottawa couldn't. Hajabrapor peeled off really well with that run and produced a really good header. But that'll frustrate Atletico Ottawa. I think that we knew the first goal would be massive in this game, and for it to come from a set piece is really disappointing.
That's the most dangerous spot, and also the way that he hits it. You drive a ball across the 6, anything could happen. It can hit one of your teammates. So that's just a bit of class that Tristan Borges has. And again, Hajabrapor, for me, the header last year was amazing.
Yeah.
This one's right next to it as well. For a guy to step up big, only 22, I have nothing but great things to say about him, because for me, he's so poised. He looks like he's been playing professionally for 10 years. That's just the way he moves. And like, honestly, so much credit and yeah, and great things to say about this Forge side.
The Atletico Ottawa players receiving their runners-up medals. We'll break down the performance tonight. Disappointing in the end for the group from the capital city, but let's get to our all-state save in the game. And Nathan Ingham made a great save early in the second half, but the game was still in doubt. It was still 1-0, and Tristan Henry coming up big off Camus.
Yeah, this was the one real moment where Ottawa found a way through. You probably don't expect it to be Camus on the end of the chance. At the end of it, but Tristan Henry does well. One thing I like about that save, I think it's a save he should make, obviously, but just pushes it in the right direction. Don't parry that one back out into any kind of danger. So Tristan Henry, as he has done, I think every playoffs, did his job very well tonight when called upon. But it was just a real struggle for Ottawa to create consistent chances.
I just want to say about Tristan Henry, clean sheets in 2019 in the 2 games that the final was played. Clean sheet in the Island Games in the final going on to win the North Star Shield there, and conceded 1 from a set piece. That's it.
Yeah.
In 5 games, which are essentially a final. So Tristan Henry continues to produce when called upon. It wasn't a busy night tonight. The shape, the defensive structure of Forge, and the fact they were on the ball so much, it didn't really give Atletico Ottawa really any clear-cut chances other than the one that we saw right there.
No, yeah, I think with Ottawa, like, they have improved this season in terms of their build-up play, their ability to break teams down when they're faced with that low block, when they go behind in a game and have to break a team down. I think it is getting better. I just don't think it's quite there yet, and that's something that Carlos Gonzalez is going to look at this offseason. That's the next evolution of this team. The way they take a step forward next season is being able to be in those situations and find something, produce something. Alleman made a difference when he came on, but all in all, there just wasn't quite enough there.
There wasn't enough. There wasn't enough, and they hit a wall. I think this is a learning moment for them. I think they've had an amazing season, Atletico Ottawa, getting to this point, but their tires were punctured. They're going against a well-oiled machine, like I said before, a Forge team that was so comfortable and knew what it took to win in this type of occasion. In Ottawa, you could see it was men against boys in certain ways.
Bottom line is they continue to set the standard, Forge. And it's not just, you mentioned this about Cavalry, failing to advance from that 2-legged tie last week. It's Forge and everyone else trying to make up that gap. They're setting the standards here in the Canadian Premier League. Here is Christian Jack alongside the head coach and manager of Forge FC. It's Bobby Smirniotis.
I'm here with Bobby Smirniotis. You're about to get another medal. How does this feel?
Yeah, everyone is different. This one is special because it's always with a little bit of a different group of guys. Some guys we've done it for now 3 times, some for the first time. Just special. And, take away the championship and everything, the environment here. Just looking in that corner and seeing our supporters here, I think that's the growth of football culture in this country. And I want it to become contagious, or from East Coast to West Coast.
We could get into lots of different factors. Let's talk about first how you played. There's different ways to win finals. I'm sure you've been delighted by winning anyway, but to play in that manner, the way that you did, you must be delighted.
Very happy with the guys. Tactically, they stuck to the plan. We talked about things over this past week and the last couple of weeks of the playoff games, and I thought that they were excellent. When it was time to really tune in, take care of the details, it was great. We did a good job on the ball, good job in the attacks, shown from our numbers in corner kicks, getting into deep spots, and excellent recovery in the counter. They're a very good team.
Schwanier again and Hajabraport again. Big players in big moments.
Yeah, two big things, right? Ali's done it to us last year, and here he is. He's paid us back in a good way, and it's absolutely fantastic. Love it, and Schwanier is just a man for magical moments.
Last one, Bobby. You can't take these moments for granted, no? Enjoy every second?
No, that's the one thing we talk about. You know, we say it's some players go through their whole lives not playing in championships. We've been blessed. This is number 4. We played 4-3, but you never take it for granted.
You, my friend, are an absolute credit to Canadian soccer. We can't thank you enough. Congratulations again on being a champion.
Thank you very much, guys.
It's Bobby's world, and I feel like we're all just living in it. As the Forge players being handed their medals by CPL Commissioner Mark Noonan, Canadian Soccer Association President Nick Bontis. So many big names in this squad. Really players having to sacrifice minutes in a very competitive side to make it in. But they stuck together, did enough to get across the line here with another North Star Shield in hand.
Yeah, and they're willing to do it for that man, Bobby Smaniotis. I think as good a coach as this country has ever produced. The job he continues to do to build a team in his own image, you know, playing a certain brand of football, to be able to manage a squad like you were saying, where there's so many top players who you would think would be expecting minutes, and he keeps them all working together and all producing moments like this.
Humility. Guys coming in every day, humble. You have guys have won MLS championships. Guys that expected minutes, like you said, Ali. But he has everyone on their own accord, on his accord. Sorry, and that's just something to be said. He's taking guys that are prima donnas in their own right and making them simple players playing his style.
And it's time for the North Star Shield to be presented to the 2022 champions in Forge FC.
Alex! Come on, Dennis! Where is it? Where is it? Over there. Archie, go with Danny. Come on,
Stay out of the way. It's coming.
Let's go.
Please welcome again Constable Mark Corsi and Corporal Jennifer Goodings, representing the Royal Canadian Mounted Police, as they present the North Star Shield to the stage for the official presentation.
The North Star Shield once again resides in Hamilton. Forge FC, your 2022 Canadian Premier League champions. The Steel City, the ambitious city, full of heart, full of champions. The party is going to go on late in the night in Hamilton, here in Ottawa as well. With the size of this country, away travel so difficult, we do see it from various supporters across this country. A quick 6-hour drive down the 401 to Ottawa. Hundreds, and I mean hundreds of Forge FC supporters have made this trip. Understanding work on Monday will not be an easy commitment to make. They made for a great atmosphere here tonight. The Ottawa fans, they rallied behind their side, but it's the Forge support that gets to celebrate this championship.
Yeah, Bobby Spermiotis mentioned it. I thought that was a really special part of tonight's game, was you have the Ottawa supporters section, you have this place packed out, so many fans here, and then you have these traveling fans as well. And like, look, I'm from England, where there's pretty much the longest road trip you can go on as an away fan is 6 hours, right? And that's one of the shorter ones in the Canadian Premier League. So it takes some effort and some commitment, but these fans are doing it to see their team win a final. And they were tucked away in a corner at the opposite end of the pitch to us, so we couldn't see too much of them, but you could tell even from a distance they were making plenty of noise, getting behind their team. And to see away fans and home fans, that kind of support is a really special thing for this league.
You can see as well, these are fans like last year that were brokenhearted. They've gone over and they said, hey, sorry about last year. This is the three-peat or third win in four years. And it's what you want to see, that harmony between fans and players. And you can see Forge right now, it's a beautiful little section, nice little nook that they have. You get to celebrate with the fans that travel 6-7 hours.
Based on experience, we can say, Jordan, playing soccer in this country isn't always easy. There's Absolutely a grind, there are obstacles, nothing is straightforward. You make sure you celebrate moments like this, because they don't come around very often. For Forge, well, it's now commonplace. 3 titles in 4 years. Forge, your 2022 Canadian Premier League Championship. More analysis, and we'll break down the Ottawa side of the equation next as our post-match show rolls on.
When inspiration strikes, go after it in the German-engineered, redesigned 2022 Tiguan with standard 4-motion all-wheel drive and the available CarNet app that connects to your vehicle in over 20 ways. With a kick of a foot, Tiguan can keep up with family life, which comes in handy because kids change their minds a lot. When family happens fast, you'll be ready. That's how to Tiguan.
Volkswagen. We're used to labels. Apologetic. Sweet. Pushovers.
1, 2, 3, bang!
But screw labels. No more being polite. No more sugarcoating. Because we're label-less and limitless. Oat Canada, the official plant protein partner of Canada Soccer.
We created Carlsberg 0-0 because even the best things can be better with alcohol-free beer. Clean, one-handed backhand is better. Balancing stuff is better. Whatever this is better. We created Carlsberg. Skipping your own ad is better. Parking in space, better. So, can the best alcohol-free beer make good things better? Probably.
Absolute class. It's the golden boy once again. Very good. What a sweet, sweet moment. Super goal.
Taking a look at your full-time stats. I'm not sure if this actually shows how dominant of a performance it was from Forge. It was straightforward in a lot of ways. The 3 shots on target. very little trouble for Tristan Henry to deal with. It's not that Ottawa were that poor. Forge were just that dominant in terms of the way that they played here tonight.
Yeah, they just looked very comfortable as soon as they got that first goal, and I thought up until that point probably having the better of it as well. But they took away what Ottawa is very, very good at, right? Which is that counter-attack, and it felt too much like it was really all on Baloo Tabla to produce something. Like I said before, I thought Alaman came on and made an impact in the game and helped them a little bit, but overall, this is what Forge do in playoff games. They identify what the opposition's strengths are and take them away, and know that there's a couple of weaknesses that they'll get the opportunity to exploit at some point, and they did.
I bet you both are loony. That Bobby Smignonis
Is that what it was?
at halftime said, even or ahead, boys. Even or ahead. If we can get ahead, we're winning this game. You can see that when they scored that first goal, lights switched off. They said, yo, this is us. This is our time. Because you said the stat earlier. How many times have Atletico come back to win when they've been down?
None. They actually, Atletico Ottawa didn't lose a game all season when they scored the first goal. And conversely, they didn't win a game all season when they conceded the first goal. It was vital. Just in terms of the way that they play, we saw this in a goalless draw here about 2 months ago, about how it just becomes frustrating playing this Atletico Ottawa side when you're either trailing or you're level. You just can't break them down. You experienced that firsthand this season, Jordan. They're just a very difficult side, but the fact that they conceded first, it just made that such an uphill battle for them.
But then they were vulnerable, Wheels. You have a point now, you have to go and get a goal, right? You're chasing the game a bit. They had to step up, and you see second half, you had Sissoko being able to drive forward, Horjapur being able to drive forward, because they had to make something happen. They stepped up, there was space, Forge was able to pick them apart, and if you actually look at the second goal, that's what it comes from, is that they had time to drive and drive and drive, and then obviously ultimately a goal comes from it.
Yeah, a second Forge goal always felt a lot more likely than an equaliser, to be honest with you. Again, I think it's an area of the game where Ottawa have made progress. Like, we shouldn't overstate it and say that they can't play at all in those scenarios and can't create chances and break teams down. I think they're a much better team at doing that now than they were just a few months ago. It is coming, and they do have the quality in the squad, I think, to be a good team in those situations. It just needs a bit more time. And I think even before playing this game, Carlos Gonzalez would have known that, and will have known that next season, that's got to be the evolution that this team takes, is to be a better team in possession and coming from behind in games.
We documented how Forge obviously have been here before. They weren't fazed by the occasion. Big crowd. I thought that Ottawa looked a little bit nervy at the beginning of the game. I'm not sure if you saw that or picked up on that at all. It's just some of the confident touches and the confident play both on and off the ball that we saw all season long. In fairness to Atletico Ottawa, we just didn't see that out of the gates.
You say nervy, and I also want to say like unassertive in a way, right? You're at home, 15th hour here. You can go and go from worst to first. I missed a bit more gusto, a bit more life. You know, I feel like they went down easy. I don't want to take away from the season that they had, because that's also something to be said, right? To win not to win the championship, but to be first place in the league. The football that they played, they stuck to their plan. It's just they were 90 minutes away of doing the double and perfection. And for me, it was just a bit docile and lifeless. And I wish, and I know they wish they could take it back and kind of just go for it a bit more.
It's one of those things, like in this city, around this game, and this crowd, you just felt like the spark was lit, but it really didn't catch fire here tonight. And
well said.
Perhaps it's a missed opportunity. They'll be back. The build with the Atletico club, the city of Ottawa, it's absolutely moving in the right direction. Let's go live to the podium, and Carlos Gonzalez, the manager of Atletico Ottawa, addressing the media.
Today we conceded too many set pieces in the first half. This was one thing that we knew that it couldn't happen, because we were going to give them the chances to score in that way, and we conceded too much. And then once you receive one goal against Forge, they start to play the game that they want, because we start to concede more spaces, and we knew that taking risks in some moments, these type of chances of like the chance of the second goal could appear. So I'm very proud of the game, of the team. I think that we faced the big Forge, and we've done a great game today. But it's true that we have to think in 2 weeks maybe, have a break now, and think about the things that we can improve.
Yeah, this might be a better question to ask you, like you said, in thoughts on the season as a whole and the improvement of the club?
My thoughts of the season are that we've done a brilliant season, you know, a brilliant season. Nobody thought at the beginning that we could be here the last day of the season, that we could play the 31 games in the season. We've done history, you know. We've won the regular season. We've been the more consistent team throughout the year, and we've done a great semi-finals. And I think that today we've done a good game also. But it's true that Forge has been better than us. So it would be the perfect season if we won today. But I think that is a brilliant season of all the team, all the guys, and everyone inside the field and outside the field.
Coach, you talk about the positives and such a fantastic season, rebuilding a fan base, doing so many good things on the field. But is there a huge disappointment that goes with getting to the championship game and not being able to accomplish the mission or the goal? We could see some of the players out in the field after the game. There's obvious disappointment. How was it for you? What are you feeling?
Well, it's true that it's disappointed. We are all disappointed because, of course, you always want to win. We always wanted to win. This was our mentality, to win every single game. But sometimes there are 3 results in this game, and today, how I said, the opponent was better in the details. It was that they were better in the details than us, and they punished us. And we have to learn, because it's true that maybe we had players with a little bit less experience in these situations. Okay, so it's a thing that will serve to acknowledge, to learn, and to improve for the next season, because the next season we are going to be back, I'm sure.
Does the off season, does next season begin tomorrow? Does it begin, we know what worked and maybe what didn't work this year? Is the plan to reevaluate and come back bigger and better in 2023? Yeah,
it's true. We are going to come back bigger and better, no doubt about that. We have plenty of energy inside to put it into the next season. But now we all deserve a rest, okay? We all deserve to disconnect a little bit and start to think in the next season, maybe in a few weeks. Because, you know, if we start to think in the next season now, maybe we take wrong decisions, and we have to clean our minds a little bit, and then we will be sharper in our decisions.
Hey, Carlos, how difficult is it when, as a coach, you guys have great...
Some of the thoughts from Carlos Gonzalez. The details were key, and he just thought that Forge had a better grasp and a better hold on them in terms of execution than his side. Accurate assessment for you?
Absolutely. He was honest about it, and like I said, nothing to take away from Atletico Ottawa. They got here, and they fell short. What I love to see is he said, we'll be back next year. And now we've got to make some calls and talk to York, because these 2 Ontario teams are doing well and playing well, and I can't help but feel like we're a bit behind, so we've got to pick it up.
Let's remember as well and put this into context. They finished last season. Yeah. Like, just to be here, I know it's not going to be any consolation after you lose a final. Of course, you want to win it and win that championship when you get here. But the journey they've been on to turn it around from what they were last season to this season, that doesn't happen very often. You know, you see teams go from last to maybe being a playoff team and starting to get in the hunt and get in the picture. But to go, you know, right to the final, I think is an incredible accomplishment. There should be a tremendous amount of pride at the club and from the fans in what this team has done. I know they've fallen a little bit short tonight, but it's been an incredible turnaround.
And Carlos Gonzalez has been the catalyst.
Yes.
That 36-year-old head coach, who this time last year was managing in Kuwait, has come here and revolutionized the club. And also we should mention that now the Canadian Premier League recognizes regular season winners. It's a huge reward. They had that banner, they had that honor of being the top team in the CPL over the regular season. Quite the scene was set here tonight. The final act from Atletico Ottawa, not quite good enough. Forge, once again, are champions. Add more highlights to the reel. We'll break it all down next. And more reaction from the winning side is coming up on our post-match show.
We call it the beautiful game, where artistry leaves you in awe, mixed with emotion that grips the soul. We are witness to beautiful goals, where unbelievable cannot begin to describe what we just saw. It is where pride comes to life on the pitch. Respect has been earned. This is where one game is found on One Soccer.
New Degree Advanced. First ever 72-hour nonstop protection with motion sense. Tested to the limit and proven.
Still feeling dry and fresh.
72-hour nonstop protection however much you move.
Who's this game for? For those just making their start? Or those with a whole city on their back? For those who are always game? Or those who are pioneers? For those who are chasing glory? Or is it for all of us?
Volkswagen.
Cross, hit it on, good save. Margot stopped by Pauli, rebounds, stopped again.
Year number 4 in the books, look at that. Forge, 3 times champion, and we're at the dance. The other time they didn't come away with the North Star Shield. Impressive to say the least, Oliver Platts.
Yeah, like I said before the game, I think more than any individual achievement, that screen right there is the most impressive thing of everything they've accomplished. It's the consistency that's being there every single year. Like, you know, you see teams go maybe three or four in terms of finals, or being, you know, 3 finals over 5 or 6 years or something like that, and that's impressive enough. But just to be there 4 times in a row, I don't think that would be something that happens again in a long time, unless Forge do another 4 potentially.
Yeah, but honestly, like, more inspiration, motivation for the other teams in this league. You know, everyone from front offices all the way down to fan groups, everyone.
Yeah.
It's time to step up our game. Let's see how we got here tonight to the 2-0 final. Alessandro Hujabrapor, header in cup finals. He's got a pair of them last year against Forge, this year for Forge.
For me, what a header. What a strong head to get that in the back of the net. But it's all about the service as well. We talked about in the beginning of the game, Wheels. Tristan Borges is going to have a big role to play in delivery and heck of a cross.
It was a great header, Ollie, because he didn't run onto it. He just jumped up and still with so much power right into the corner.
Brilliant header from a brilliant player, in my opinion, and one of the real signings of the season as far as Forge are concerned. Look, there's players who are flashier than Hujabrapor and maybe catch the eye a bit more, score goals, you know, create goals, all of those things that we like to see. But, you know, we got to learn to appreciate guys like that, because the work they get through in midfield, the intelligence of that kid, he's 22 years old. It's like the maturity he plays with, I think, is absolutely remarkable. He's got a big future. Poised is a great word.
Poised. Clean on the ball. Mm-hmm. If I'm watching a center midfielder, I want someone like Hujabrapor on my team. If I'm going to build a team, I want someone like that. You know, he feels out the game. He knows when to switch the ball. Drives forward. He's a very good player.
You just don't think that number 6s, like defensive midfielders, are going to score, you know, big goals in big games like this. Look, he's from Burnaby, British Columbia. The GOAT is from Burnaby. He's got some plenty,
good pedigree,
a lot of goal scoring to catch up to the great Christine Sinclair. The second half, the game was put on ice. It was still in doubt at 1-0, even though Ottawa wasn't creating a whole lot. But Matusala? What are you doing up there? Finds David Chouanier. Whoop! See you later, Camus. And honestly, that's a fantastic finish. Got his angle absolutely spot on.
This is just the quality that he's shown all year. The fancy footwork, but composure in front of goal, right? The same way he strikes this one is the same way he struck the other one last week.
Yeah.
With gusto, with confidence. He's saying, this is my time. For me, he's really stepped up this year and has just been the difference for Forge.
Bit more of an old-fashioned winger, right? You see so many right-sided players on the left and vice versa, and right-footed, right side, and he just kind of drives across you and keeps coming at you over and over again. He was excellent again tonight, and you could see from his celebration as well, you know, having a little bit of back and forth with the supporters when he scored that goal. He just loves these games and produces so consistently in them.
This has been a special season in the Canadian Premier League. I think now, after what we've been through in recent years, we take nothing for granted. This is really the second real, normal, straightforward season of the Canadian Premier League. I think we saw a lot more parity. We saw some names rise in terms of the ranks, and we've seen fan culture continue to develop in this country. What's your big takeaway from tonight and what we've experienced over the last 5 or 6 months, Ollie?
I think you look at the season as a whole, and you look at just this weekend in isolation and being in Ottawa here as well. It's just another reminder we're moving forwards with the game in this country, right? It's easy to lose sight of that sometimes when you get caught up in little things, and we know there's always things going on in Canadian soccer and always back and forths happening and things that absolutely can improve in the game in this country. But when I think back to just a few years ago and where we were with no league, now we have this league. We hopefully have a women's league on the way sooner rather than later as well. And just being here tonight and enjoying this atmosphere, enjoying the football that these teams are playing, we're taking so many positive steps forward in this country. Let's keep it going, and hopefully, like you said, after a more normal year, we can continue to build on this and have a fantastic 2023.
Jordan, as a player, how do you reflect upon the season that was?
To echo your sentiment, Ollie, 15,000 for finals in a domestic homegrown league sounds like a pipe dream, right? For me, this is amazing atmosphere. I had to put my feelings aside because when the game started, O Canada was singing. I was like, someone throw me some boots. Someone throw me a shin guard.
I'm ready.
Like, sign me for whatever team for the day. But you just want to play in these games. You want to play in these in these type of atmospheres. And even being out with you guys last night, Ottawa, they're just building something here. And we want more of that. We want it all over the league. Just that culture, that fan appreciation, where people coming out and watching a beautiful game of football.
I just wanted to add, KJ was saying to the players, you don't take moments like this for granted, and they all obviously agreed with that. I think as fans, as media, whoever we are, players, coaches, don't take any of this for granted either. Like, again, it didn't exist just a few years ago, and to have it now, I think is something very, very special in this country.
I've been in the game in this country my entire life. Tonight, on nights like this, I feel immense pride. 15,000 people in attendance. I was speaking to a colleague say, yep, baby steps, we're getting there.
Yeah.
And he corrected me and said, no, tonight was a big step. This was something special and a worthy champion. Congratulations to the city of Hamilton and Forge FC. They are the 2022 Canadian Premier League champions. Thank you to Jordan. Thank you to Ollie, KJ, from our entire team. Thank you for following along here on One Soccer, the Canadian Premier League, year number 4 in the books. It was Atletico Ottawa, the giants of the regular season. From worst to first, but fall a little bit short as Forge FC, their 3rd title in 4 years. The North Star Shield resides in Hamilton. On behalf of everyone at One Soccer, I'm Gareth Wheeler. Thank you for supporting Canadian soccer.
That voice in our heads that urges you forward.
Bueno, dale, vamos.
Fuel it.
A new era for Canadian soccer begins today. Experience the emotion of every match. Watch all the highlights, the breaking news, the best debates,